How's it going, you guys? Nathaniel R here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day. In today's video, we're going to be going over the new release of Into the Void. It's going to be the new release that just updated today for New World, and I'm honestly super excited. It looks really awesome. They have added so much. We're only going to be breaking down a little bit of it because we will be here forever, and I know nobody wants to watch my video that long. Neither do I. So we're going to start off by watching the little trailer that they've just released for it, and then go into some of the information I think that's absolutely fantastic with this new update. So without further delay, let's jump into it.
So you have found yourselves on these sacred shores. Spilled blood so you could lay claim to her lands. Yet still unsated, you dig deeper, delving into the mysteries of Aeternum's magic. Nothing will be the same after you venture into the void.
I think that looks honestly fantastic. I'm super hyped about that. I don't know. It gets me kind of hyped because I don't know. I mean, for me personally, like I kind of was getting a little bit tired of playing New World, but seeing this, it's actually like, oh, maybe this actually might be interesting to hop back into, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Let's jump into some of the information that they released. There's a lot, like I said. I will leave a link down below if you want to go and read all of it and all the different changes they made, but the main thing that I wanted to look at was the economy, the progression, and the loot changes that they are adding into this update that they just opened up today. So let's jump over there and let's take a look at all that. First of all, let me resize this little screen right here so that we can get a little bit closer so you guys can actually see what it says. First off, this is, like I said, it's going to be the economy, progression, and loot. Faction change cooldown has been reduced to 60 days instead of 120 days. I think that's fantastic. Some of the stuff is stuff that I covered before with kind of the leak that someone found, whatever, or in the information, but most of it will be some stuff that I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of fantastic. So different stuff, so it's not all the same, so I love that. The repair kit weight has been reduced to from 2 to 0.01, which is fantastic. It was too heavy where it was before. Added a chunk of concentrated iron to the top rank of the faction shop for all factions. Chunks of concentrated iron are used to craft the resilient perk for armor items. Perfect. Then there's the economy. All trading posts have been officially linked. I think that's interesting. I haven't got my hands onto it. It's taking about 3 days for the game to download and to update, so sadly I haven't been able to get into that and actually look at it. Yay, internet. But we'll have to look at that and I'll see what my thoughts are on that. Both the listing tax and purchase tax will be paid to the territory where the buy or sell order was listed. Items listed in sell orders that expire are returned to the settlement from which they were posted. Obvious. It is no longer possible to place items on the trading post for 28 days. The maximum is now 14 days. I think that makes sense. I'm not against that personally. Reducing durability loss from PvP deaths to 10%. I don't know what the percentage it was before, but that's fantastic because I feel like if you're wanting to do PvP, it's like, well, I don't want to go through all of my crafting materials because I'm just dying a lot. So I think that's fantastic. If you're a real gamer and you don't die that much, then good for you. Happy for you. Reduce the quantity of honey gained by 50% and the amount of milk from cows by 65%. So that's interesting. That's a pretty big decrease. I would say honey trees are unaffected by this change. We made this change because the volume of milk and honey in the world is higher than the initial estimates. The bees and cows are happy about this change. That's funny. Housing taxes are now due every 7 days, thank God, because every 5 days was just atrocious. And there's no change in the cost and stuff like that. And the housing items with yeah, so I think that's fantastic. 5 days I felt like was just a little bit of a pain in the butt, and just having once a week instead will make it a little bit less terrible. Then there's the progression. Reduced territory standing gains from cooking, as they were a bit more generous than when compared to similar efforts put into other crafting skills. Updated Harbless, a homestead town project, to now require 1 mission instead of 5. That's pretty nice. Increased the XP requirements for progressing craft trade skills. That's interesting. Once players unlock a new tier of recipes, i.e. or e.g. Iron or steel, the XP requirements to continue progressing by just crafting things at the previous tier will be significantly diminished. However, it should still take the same amount of effort to progress the crafting skill if you craft items in the highest tier you are capable of crafting. So that's interesting. So instead of like before, where you would just go and craft some of the low tier stuff like that and make like 1,000 leather gloves or whatever, you know, and just use that just because it was the most efficient way, you know, something like that. Now you actually don't get as much, so they're kind of forcing you to go forward and spend more time or grind out some of the higher rarity materials. I think that makes sense. Personally, I think it could be a pain because it takes more time to gather stuff, but in my mind, that makes more sense because, you know, before it's like there's no point in crafting the higher rarity materials or stuff like that, but now they're actually giving you a reason and incentive, you know, like now there's no point in doing the low ones, so there's actual incentive to do that, and I think that makes more sense, and I think it's a good change. It's a pain, but I think it's for the better, just for the feel of the game and stuff like that. Before I just thought it was kind of silly, but now I don't know, I feel it's going to be a pain, like I said, but I think it's a good change, and I'm happy they kind of did it because it gives me more reason to actually go and do the other stuff. Trade skills, potion crafting update. We felt that some of the higher tier core potions, particularly health potions and mana potions, were a little too difficult to craft, so we've updated the recipes to craft these items, introduced a new has created to distilling the magical herbs, serves as a reliable and potent base for potions going forward. Raw resources from gathering nodes. This right here is something that really stuck out to me, and I love this right here. Thanks to your support, we found a probability issue with rare resources from tier 3, 2, 3, and 4 gathering nodes and resolved it. Thanks to everyone who contributed. The short versions, we had a couple of the probabilities that were multiplying each other's, resulting in near zero chance of some already rare items dropping. This combined with an issue that could make it next to impossible for an item to drop if your luck values were too high. Not exactly how luck should work. Which translated into a luck sweet spot they had to be in, even if the chance of that near chance of drop. With this fix, like Iron Vein, Void Metal, Phase Fiber, and Petrified Wood should now have an appropriate chance to drop after you reach a certain trade skill. So getting up your trade skill up will help to increase that chance, which we talked about in a different video, and I think that's fantastic. This chance can be increased by eating the appropriate, it says trade skill when gathering, but appropriate food for the trade skill is what I believe they were trying to say. Trade food skills enable the possibility for these to drop before you would ordinarily be able to receive them based on your trade skill level alone, albeit at a very rare rate. Then there's fishing. Opening fishing new missions now require 3 wood louse bait instead of 5, so that's nice that they decreased that a little bit. Loot rewards. Added several new named items as special drops from named knights found in the world. Knights that are quest targets don't have special drops. That's interesting. Added a new style of weapons that drop from the knights enemy types. I think that's fantastic. I think that's really, really cool. Rook's defense tower shield now has a tower shield appearance instead of a kite shield appearance. That's good. Added a set of weapons designed by the participants of the Battle for New World event. Ooh, there's a new event coming. Interesting. These weapons are tier 5 and capable of being legendary if they roll a gear score of 600. That's actually fantastic. So participating in the new event will give you the opportunity and possibility to get some nice 600 tier 5 tier legendary drops, and I think that's pretty sick, at least for right now. I think that's what our main topic's going to be on, is just the updates that they made to the trying to gather the void metal and different resources like that, the new release of and the trailer for the new update, and some of the progression stuff like that. There's a lot of good information right there. There's a lot of information to have. Like this page is absolutely massive. There's so much that they've changed and are doing. Super excited to see and get a feel for it and get in the game and try it out in the next year when it finishes updating. And honestly, it said it was 39 gigabytes for me. And so there's a lot that's changed. A lot of new enemies. There's the Void Gauntlets now available. Like there's a bunch of stuff that we can do and enjoy. So I'm excited to get my hands on it and to actually be able to try it out. But that's gonna do it for today's video. I try not to make them too long. Already it's a long video and I apologize, but excited to see them doing some good stuff to really make adjustments and changes to help improve the game, and I'm excited with what's going forward, you know. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.